Hi everyone! I want to give you a quick tour of my sewing space. Now, I didn't call it a sewing room. There's a lot of beautiful sewing rooms out there. You probably see them online with beautiful trinkets, and the colors are beautiful, and the chair matches the cutting board. This is not that post. This is a very small nook in my basement. This sewing nook, has had some big projects come out of it, but it also shares the same room as my washer dryer, furnace, water heater, freezer. It's just a little space. And so you don't need a huge space to make big things. That's my point. So let me give you a little tour of my room, space, not room, and we'll go from there. So right out of the gate, I have my sewing machine. This is I think it's from the 50s, 1950. It's a Kenmore 1803. And this Kenmore is actually from my mom. She gave it to me when she wanted to upgrade to a different type of machine. I've tried a couple of those machines, and honestly, I love this one. It's solid metal parts. It goes through everything from like really, really thin fabric to stretchy material to even heavy canvas, leather. It doesn't skip a beat. It's solid. What I also love about this is that it comes with this table. This table does not shake. It is so firm, and you don't want a shaking table. If you have a table that shakes, what happens is you get nesting. The machine doesn't like it. It skips stitches, and it's just a problem. So make sure you get a really good table, a table that is solid, that's not shaking. Card tables are out of the question, ladies. I also have a spice rack. And so if you have a spice rack that's kicking around, or you go to your Salvation Army or your thrift store and you see a spice rack, pick them up. There's tons of them out there, and they're great. I put my oils on here. There's my oils. I also have these medicine bottles that hold dull blades so that they're not just floating around in the garbage and they're cutting people's hands and stuff. No way. They go into these little containers, and then you don't have to worry about them. So I have a couple old blades that are in there, and they're perfect. On top of that, this is a really cute thing that I love. Pick this up. This jar is so cute. I couldn't resist, and I didn't know what to do with it. It has a little cork top, huge actually, not little. And what I do is whenever I trim my threads off of a garment or a quilt that I'm working on, or just piecing, I stick my threads in here. It's really good to put your threads either in the garbage or something like this. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see that, but it's just so pretty. Like the colors are and this has been going for probably about 3 years. So maybe even 4. Just tons of thread. You just pack it down, and it just gets layered, and it just adds a little bit of prettiness to your room. So find yourself a cute little jar, put a nice little bow on it, and put your threads in it. I put it here so that I can just quickly add it to my jar. I have all of my bobbins and some of my thread, but mostly my sewing feet, all my needles are all in the drawers here. If you don't have a space like that, you can just put them on a shelf in a little container. That works fine too, but you just need the littlest space. Up here I have a spool rack. Now that looks really fancy, but actually not great for your threads. You're better off to put your threads in like a margarine container or some kind of container that you can get so that there's no dust that builds up on them. I have this here. I plan to cover it, which you could do. I plan to cover it up so that none of the dust particles that come from the ceiling, we have an open ceiling here. It's an old house. So you can imagine how much dust drops on these, and it wreaks havoc because all that dust goes through your machine, and then you're cleaning constantly. So I clean this machine a lot. I also, I'm rotating these a lot. So sometimes they're not even here. These are just the ones that I've been using here and there. So if you can put these away, that's great. If you can cover that, that's even better. So as I twirl around, you're gonna see behind me, I have a whole bunch of rulers. Now these rulers are not pretty. They're on the wall. They're more functional. I have 3M hooks that I put up and I just hook them on. Most rulers will come with a little tiny circle that you can do that with. So find a 3M hook that's really small that you can just hook it on. And I have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 rulers on a 3M hook. Also add something personal. I love pictures in my space. I've decked the space out with Christmas attire so that you can come in here and really enjoy it. I loved working in here at Christmas time. Got a ton of projects done, excuse me, and I really, really liked that this space is mine. It's not a huge space, as you can see. It's just a nook. I've seen people even do sewing rooms underneath of their stairs. So find a space, folks. Find a space that you can just set up and you can really put your talents to work, or just start that new project that you've never done. As we twirl around, this is literally the corner of the room here. I have another spool rack. This one's covered, so it's a little bit nicer. You don't have to worry about the dust as much, although I do plan to cover this again. Another thing I wanted to show you is right up here, I have a color wheel. Now, if you know anything about color, it's really important that you have a color wheel in your room. It helps you with your fabrics, putting your fabrics together so that they work together and they're not screaming against each other. Complementary versus contrasting. Make sure that you get yourself a color wheel and just have it up in your room. Number 1, it's cute. Number 2, it works. You can frame it really cute and put it up in your room, but it really is a handy tool. Color wheel. I have here an old kitchen cabinet. I think it's the bottoms of a kitchen. Laminate countertop. I don't know if you can see that laminate. And I don't even see the laminate. I have my cutting mats on top. These cutting mats are great. They're the self-healing cutting mats, I think from Fiskars. And what I like about them is that you can cut some serious fabric on these, and they're called self-healing mats. You can still feel a few of the things on it, but they don't actually like damage this mat. This mat can go in some a solution like water and a few other things, and it actually heals it. So get yourself one of these mats. Michael's has them. I know they're online. You can find them at most fabric stores, which is really nice. So personalize your room. Right here, I have a dry erase little square. That's it, just a tiniest little square. And above it, I have a cork board. And I put all of my information that I need. I have yardage, conversion charts up there, my quilt size reference charts. I have phone numbers for long arm quilters up there. All the projects that I plan to be working on in the next year, they're all written here. Kind of my UFOs, my unfinished fabric objects, UFOs, folks, that's what they're called. And so I just write it all down here, which is really handy because I know exactly where I need to go to find that stuff. So get yourself a little board. I know that they have some that are just sheets that you can just stick on the wall, like one of those plastic adhesive ones. They're so simple. And you just write on them. These are great. If you go a little bit further, I have my serger here. Sometimes I'll put that on my machine table. I'll fold my old Kenmore down and I'll put this Kenmore on top and I'll just sew with that. And it's a solid table. It's not running around and causing problems for your machine. So that's kind of nice. So for now, it stays here. I do cover both these machines up with covers because, again, dirt is coming on them. You don't want them messed up and you don't want dust on them. So I have covers for everything. I cover it all up, but I have it uncovered for you today. I also have this. This is one of those little arms that you put your cell phone on that go in your car. You can either mount it on your window or on your dashboard. And I love it because my phone is not running rampant in my fabric that's on this table. It's in a space. I can see it. I can move this arm around if it's in the way. But the nice part is I never have to worry about where my phone is, and I lose my phone all the time. Do you guys? So this has been great. I just move it around. All right, moving on. This is my tabletop, my countertop. You can see I have all of my cutting tools here, and they're right by this counter. I stand here and I just cut away, which is really nice, but all the things, any blades I need, any rotary cutters, any scissors, it's all right here. My pins are here. I've got some clips and stuff that I use for whenever I'm sewing stretchy material. I got some swim fabric. Up here I've got all my marking utensils, chalk, anything that I would need for sewing. It's pretty much right here. It's also nice to be right by a window. It's nice to be able to look out and see, oh, it's sunny out, or sometimes a little squirrel will visit me in the window. I don't have actually a bird feeder here, but that would be great. But I can see that it's snowing out. It just kind of gives me a little bit of connection to the world outside, because sometimes I get lost in here because I'm doing so much in this space for hours on end. So it's nice to have a window. Here inside of this cabinet, I also have my fabric. So I have these in little plastic totes that are labeled. So this would be like fat quarters. These are my colors. So teal, green, brown, cream. I've got white over here. I've got pink, peach, orange, but they're all in here. All my fabric is in one space, and I know exactly where to find it. I know how much I have, and I don't need to go looking beyond this, which is kind of nice. So this is my room. There isn't much to it. It's small. I didn't really even talk about my ironing station. Let's just go there quickly. So this is my best press and my ironing. This is my iron, little tiny one. It's perfect for piecing and for getting in like sleeves and stuff like that. It's great. And what I do is I put on the top here an ironing pad. This one's been burnt, not by me. Somebody else burnt this. So if you know how to get this out, let me know. But yeah, this is just a fabric board. It's obviously warped. I think I got it secondhand. But the nice part is it travels with me. So this side, cutting mat, this side, ironing board. So I'll just stick this right on top, and you can make these. They're actually makeable. You can get fabric that's got squares on it and just tack it onto a board with, there's ironing padding you can get to make these. So it's amazing what's out there, or you just buy it on Amazon. That works too. Simpler. But you just put it here, put your iron on, and then over here you're cutting and doing all the things you need to for piecing. That's it. This is my space. It's not huge. And I've done some huge queen size quilts out of this. I've done clothing. I've done swimwear. You name it. This is it. It's a corner. So folks, let me tell you, everyone, get your sewing machines out. Find a little nook in your house and set it up. Let's get sewing. We'll do it together. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be even pretty. And as you can see, there's tons of thrift finds here that you can just use to get your stuff up. A few 3M hooks on the wall, you are golden. So let's see some of your rooms. If you've got a fancier room, which I know there's tons of fancier rooms out there, you know what? Post it. Let me see your cute rooms. But if you don't have a very nice room, it's just a table in the corner of a space, show me that too. I would love to see how creative you've been with getting a little space together for sewing. Bye now.